Everybody, it's Durgertime. Welcome back. Another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 AEW. So I'm just recording this a couple days after Revolution. What a damn show. We were way wrong. Man, I should not predict these things. So obviously we had 2 episodes. You're watching this now because I already had some episodes in the bank, so you're probably watching this like a week out. But obviously we had a different Revolution with different results, and I had a bunch of stuff happen in the next episode of Dynamite to kind of get us to I guess copacetic. But man, so what did I have? I think at MJF losing. I had a lot of things wrong. I had Moxley not winning either. I'm still, to put the armchair booking hat on, I guess, or to sit in the chair. I don't know if, as much as it's a feel-good moment, I don't know in the long term if it's right to take it off Jericho. Because my concern right now, so I'm building up a storyline with Moxley to Hager and then Jericho against Moxley, right? I just think there's not any decent enough larger-than-life heels to combat Moxley yet. And that's my concern. It could get there, right? But we don't know. And obviously we had the Young Bucks actually taking the titles, and that leading right to a attack by Hangman Page and seemingly breaking up Kenny and Page, or building some type of rivalry between the two. We don't know yet. So there's stuff we can do, right? Definitely going into a different direction, which is always fun. So we'll kind of have to see how we deviate as we go. It should be pretty interesting. And obviously we have some of our own storylines kind of going and doing their own thing right now. So it's going to be pretty fun. I do see some mail here, so let's go ahead and quickly look. Stu Grayson's upset with the push we're giving him. We can change that. Sakura actually is now moved here. Ooh, okay. So I know I had mentioned I really didn't want to hire that many people. And pretty much I said there was like 3 people, maybe 4. Here's the other 2. So their contracts are set to expire in April. So I think they are probably ready to... Yep, they are ready to be bid on. So WWE bid on them for a written contract for another 3 years for $5,400 a month to work all shows, 20% bonus per event. Non-complete clause is seriously being considered. Well, let's at least match it. So it was $5,400, huh? So let's give them 6. Say and match that for the bonus, I think. 3 years is fine. Normal push. Available for all shows. I could also give them creative control, which might be a little much. Let's see how they just feel about just a slight up. And let's say we're gonna. Let's say never lowered an upper mid Carter. It would be one of the 2. I'm not good enough with one of the 2. I want to nail this in the bag. I'm gonna give you creative control. Cool. I want to hit this right out of the park. I'm not gonna play around. Now, creative control is a little rough, right? It can be dangerous, but I think will be worth it. So we should do the same here. I have a better offer from another company. Really? What are they offering you? $5,400, 4 years, whatever's needed. I mean, that doesn't really look that much better. I'll give you a 4-year contract. I accept these terms of seriously consider signing for you unless... Okay, so that looks good. It's kind of odd that they value the longer term more. Technically, sometimes that's not beneficial for a wrestler, right? They can get much more valuable and they get much value out of a 1 year, but that's whatever. All right, so if we can get them in, that would be great. Some gimmick changes, nothing going on here on this end. So we just have Dark and we have Dynamite. We got to move on from Revolution. Now they announced obviously a new, not pay-per-view, but we're going to make it a pay-per-view. We're going to do a 3-hour AEW Blood and Guts. We are going to in fact make it that as a pay-per-view. I believe that was the 4th week of April. I think. Let's see. Where does that fit us here? March, April, May. Let's do the first. So obviously we had to change it a little bit. We put, because of the leap year, Revolution was the first week of March. So we're actually a week delay. So let's make it the first week of April. For second week of April. Okay, that looks good. Second week of April should give us enough wiggle room here to build up a feud. Saturday, week 2 of April. Fixed location really doesn't matter. Somewhere in the U.S. Well, actually, technically, it's in the tri-state area. It really doesn't matter. Do we want a special set? Yes. We'll spend an extra $5,000 on it. Live music? No, we really don't need it. Celebrities? Like, maybe we'll add a minor celebrity. Oh, might as well do a D-list. Maybe Stephen and Amell will show up or something like that. Okay, so 3-hour event. Obviously, in real life, it's just another episode of Dynamite, but we're going to add it as an event just to make it a little bit more interesting. Give us something else to work towards other than just a Dynamite show. Dynamite kind of... AEW seems to be afraid of putting too many events out and kind of making them more as like special event Dynamites, which we can't really do in the game, right? Because, like Bash on the Beach or the Rock and Roll Rager, like, Fyter Fest. Well, Fyter Fest is considered an event here, right? We can't really quite do that. Oh, you know what? I should make it 2 hours. It's just not really going to be much different. It's just going to be like a minor event. Okay. So this is like the only way we can really simulate that, and I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal. We will use that to our advantage, and especially for when it comes to booking. Now, I kind of heard you guys. I asked you for the last 2 weeks how you feel about it, and it seems like a lot of people want to see Dark. So I'm going to show you Dark. Like I said, it's not going to be that interesting, but we're just going to run through it real quick. I'm not really planning on doing any storyline elements, though we may, possibly. With the way the events work for a B show, there's really no expectation for any events to happen on it, right? So it's really just kind of raw wrestling, building up people. But we could do some storylines, right? If you want to do like Kip Sabian, Joey Janela or something like that, like we could do something on there. So we might play around with it. For the most part, I've just been giving them things to do, easy wins, just some skill that they can put on and to kind of develop, hopefully maybe find some chemistry, stuff like that. It's almost like pre-shows for us. And it's been pretty beneficial. So let's go ahead and let's get over to Dark, and we will take a look at what we got. Tiger Mask is retiring. Oh, boy. And so is Octagon and Al Snow. Oh, the retirements come. And this will not stop, huh? And Keen Vasquez is injured. Okay. Nothing hurting here for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. We got some complaints on pushes. And we do have an update on our rival bid. Let us look at that. We really do not want to lose that. They're now offering 4 years, 6,400, 20%, whatever is needed. Is seriously being considered. Your offer is not being seriously considered. Okay, well, a war is starting. We will continue. 6,600, 4 year. Future. Icons? What does Icon do? You available all major shows, rarely lose, and be protected on their rare losses. I think that would do it. Like, I feel like they would, with the creative control and the icon clause, I feel like they would do it. That's dangerous, but I feel like that will be fine. I don't think WWE is going to throw that out there. And I think that will get us the win. And honestly, they're probably going to be... I have a plan for them. And it's going to be a stable. So, and I expect them to kind of win all the time. So I'm fine with that. That's no big deal. Seriously considering both offers... I'm just going to knock it out of the park. I know I really shouldn't do this, but I have the money to burn. I'm a money mark. What can I say? Creative control, boom, boom, boom. 4 years as an icon, never lower. Perfect. I don't even know what they offered him in exchange, but there's not going to be that. And they're not going to be able to top that. So, unless we get nuts. Contract negotiation. Matt Hardy is here. Perfect. I'm going to start him as a heel. I'd have to imagine he's going to be main eventer, but we will take a look. Let's take a glance at that real quick. I also want to take a look at those issues with their push mid-Carter. Wow, that was fast. That was real fast. Also, thank you for whoever recommended the new background. I forgot your name, but I am loving this picture pack. It is much better. Kip Sabian, if you remember, looked sort of like a 12-year-old 12-year-old boy, and looks much better in this pack. All of these are pretty good. I like the mix. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the fact that everyone's backgrounds are different. Like, some have the old school thing, some have just white and black backgrounds. But honestly, the picture quality is so much better. Except for Excalibur. Holy shit. Is there another one in there for you, buddy? Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. But overall, a much better picture pack. So thank you to whoever recommended it. I'm very satisfied with this new picture pack. This looks awesome. I'm probably going to add it to all of my future games because this looks great. I'm loving the quality here. Like I said, backgrounds, though, personally, I feel like the fact that they're coming from so many different places are a little weird, but it's hard to deny that the picture qualities are much better. Some of them are the same, like the same thing for Jungle Boy, but that's actually still a pretty good picture. All right, I'm way getting distracted here. Well, I was looking for Matt Hardy. Holy hell! All right, Matt, you gotta be main eventer or upper mid, right? Main eventer, yeah. What did we offer you? A lot. We offered you a lot. Does not wrestle on B or house shows. We don't have house shows, and you're never going to be on Dark. That's fine. Whatever is needed. No other requirements. Pretty simple. Very cool. Marquenne wants to be lower mid Carter. I think that's fine. Okay, perfect. And I think that's good there. What's our main event look like here? Moxley, Jericho, Nick and Matt, Pac, Matt Hardy, Cody, Kenny, Dustin, and Adam Page. Sure. I'm not sure about Dustin as main event, but or even Hangman Page yet, but that's fine. Again, though, if we look at that Fate heel, we have 1 heel, 2 heels in the main event, 3 heels now with Matt Hardy, but, not a lot for Moxley to face as a face champion. So that's why I'm a little concerned. But one of these two are very likely going to turn heel. It's either going to be Hangman or Kenny. And we're going to have to look at that. And we'll probably be looking at next Dynamite. So let's continue simming forward, get over to Dark, and hopefully get those other contracts in as fast as we can. All right. Over to St. Patrick's Day here. Riho has joined us. Helico, Stupefied location. People are moving in. Still no word on the negotiations. I expect it to be probably pretty back and forth here. What's Pac's issue? Being left off at Revolution. Yeah, we did do that, didn't we? Here. Money solves everything. Surprisingly. Happy. Perfect. Done. Stu Grayson. Irritated at a signed push. What is wrong? Why are everyone's push so bad here? Upper mid. Okay. Wow. Where's Uno? We should look at that real quick. Mid Carter. He's right. Okay. Well, that is significant. We should probably give him a quick bonus too. 2,500 seems to do it. Yeah. For what they are in terms of contract. Should be fine. It's shocking that he is a upper mid Carter, but that's fine. No problem with that. Okay, so we have Dark. Let's go ahead and let's book it here real quick. Shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, we do have a locker room incident. Incident involving Moxley. Brought pizza to the entire locker room. Huh. And Daniels has taken MJF under his wing as a protege. That is awesome. We've been looking for more proteges. Now, this is what's also great about the B is that we can do a medal here. And what I would like would be like Jungle Boy and, I don't know, Kenny or something. Nothing. It's like, I really want Jungle Boy to have a protege. Matt Hardy can't be here. Pentagon's working somewhere else. Phoenix working somewhere else. Shayna is injured. No big deal. Should be pretty simple. Doesn't really matter where we are. Let's go ahead and book it real quick. So, for the most... All right, guys, we're back. Let's check out Dark real quick. So, again, trying to build up some of the lower talent here. We give Private Party a win against Reynolds and John Silver. It's fine. D minus. Quinn and Cassidy actually have a pretty good rating in terms of their in-ring performance. They just need to get more popularity. So I figure a quick win and a dominant one, in fact. If you look at our road agent notes, we do have a regular here, but we have dominate for both of them, and Isaiah Cassidy take the win. Hopefully should build them up a bit. We have Darby Allin versus Jack Evans versus Kip Sabian. This actually doesn't do bad either, all things considered. Subpar wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, though. Darby Allin gets a win after defeating Jack Evans and Kip Sabian in 11 minutes. Darby Allin defeats Jack Evans by pinfall with a coffin drop. It's fine. Nothing really to note here. Again, just trying to build up Darby Allin. Darby Allin's rated as an opener in this save, and one, that seems crazy, but two, I need to build that up quickly because I really feel like in terms of rising stars, we need Darby Allin at least in the mid-card. Afterwards, we have a segment where Angelico who's ringside, attacks Darby Allin, and the two of them, Hybrid 2, ends up double teaming Allin post-match. But Allin gets the better of both of them and ends up smashing Angelico with a skateboard. Again, giving Darby Allin something to do, something positive, and hopefully building momentum for him. Allin performed poorly because he was rated on entertainment, and he has no ratings on anything overall, and unfortunately. But crowd got hotter from it. Oh boy, this is a bad match. Again, trying to build up Nyla Rose as a menace. We have a squash match for like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, submission on Melanie Cruz. It's not great. It's really not great. Oh, Brandy still is Melanie Cruz's manager. We got to fix that. Not much to say there. Afterwards, we have a segment that does a little bit better. Nyla Rose ends up attacking Cruz and post-match just beating her up, and forces all the refs to come out to kind of break her up. Again, trying to give her some positive momentum. We have Jurassic Express versus Ortiz and Santana. 9-minute match, just apparently terrible, unfortunately, but I didn't think it would be, but oh well. Luchasaurus had a 36, Jungle Boy had a 37. I wouldn't necessarily call that terrible. Got the crowd buzzing. It was a quick cradle. Jungle Boy defeats Santana Ortiz, takes the win. And for a main event, we have Shawn Spears. This actually does pretty okay. Decent match. Shawn Spears actually defeats Dustin Rhodes in 10 minutes by pinfall after Tully Blanchard caused a distraction. So we caused a little bit of a tainted win here, but building Shawn Spears a little bit. Also have plans for him, even though it seems like AEW forgot about him. I haven't. Got the crowd hotter, did okay, ended the show, advanced the storyline of All Roads Leads Home. Darby Allin was used too much as our notes. Overall, 47D is not horrendous. Okay. What do we got here? Contract negotiations. Say yeah. We got them. Very happy with that. Dark ratings 10. Drug testing fees 8,000. Fine. That's awesome. We got our boys. Being unavailable. All right, so they're not available yet. We'll have to figure out what their names will be in AEW, because we're not allowed to use Dash and Dawson, or at least Dash Wilder and Dawson. I mean, we could just keep their names. I'm fine with that. Obviously, they can't be. I don't know, but Stephen Walters is a bad name. Casey McKnight's not bad, though. They can't be the Revival, but they will be. And we'll add the team into here as a unit. Walters and like Casey McKnight is a good name. So obviously they would be the Revival. They're not going to be because they legally can't be, but they will be FTR. Because they have that right to it. That will work fine. And we're going to be building them up in a big way. And once they show up, though, we won't have them for, I think, another like 15 days or something like that. So we got the contract in, but we don't have them on a roster yet. Not begun. I don't know if it will tell us when, but I feel like they don't end until like April. So probably at least a week. That's fine, though. We can wait. We have things to do. Let's go ahead and book Dynamite. All right. On TNT. TNT's got some high ratings, so that's something we're going to have to really work with here. So I really want to destroy this, right? I wanted this to go right out of the park. Why not? Nope, no effect. This is going to be tough. What we got? We got 4,500 fans, basically. Going to be in Great Lakes again. When was the last time? Dynamite March 20th. Have not done it in the Midwest yet. Great Lakes, we were just there for the beginning. Let's go New England. I want to spread it around a bit here. I don't want to just do that. I'm going to expect a little bit less people, but let's start building up some momentum everywhere. Let's just not focus in the same spots over and over, right? All right. We got some stuff to book. We got some storylines to book. Yeah, we got a lot to do here. Let's see if we can figure it out while also trying to get a B-. That's really the goal. Is I don't want to go another week of having underperformance from TNT. So let's see if we can really blow it out of the park here. All right, guys, we're back. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next episode of Dynamite. We start the show off with a pre-show match. Young Bucks versus Private Party. We couldn't get either of them on the show, so I just don't want to make sure they're upset. We do it as a work the crowd match. That's pretty okay. Decent wrestling. Didn't have much heat. Overall, 69 plus. The new AEW Tag Team Champions defeat Private Party 9 minutes. We start the show off with Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Just want to see what Pac's comedy skills are. He struggled in it, unfortunately. And Orange Cassidy seemed off his game, which is a bummer. But it got to show off to a strong start. Pac defeats Orange Cassidy in 8 minutes. Not much to say about it. Afterwards, we have a backstage segment. After their loss, Kenny finds Hangman Page and confronts him. And it seems that it's starting to simmer down now. Page apologizes, and he says he just wants to focus on their rematch next week. That, you know, his emotions got over him, and he asks Kenny to apologize, and that if he accepts his apology, Kenny seems to accept it. So we got kind of a simmer down now. They still are a tag team. They still have a rematch. It seems like they are maybe fine, but obviously Page did kind of attack him and push him the last week. Page underperformed here, but Kenny looked good. We actually lost heat for their story. Overall, though, not bad of a rating. Next, we have an announcement just saying that Omega and Page versus Young Bucks will have a rematch next Dynamite. Yes. Afterwards, we have Butcher and the Blade versus the Lucha Brothers. I kind of thought this was going to go a little bit better. It's pretty poor, though. Butcher and Blade defeat Lucha Brothers in 6 minutes. Sort of. Oh, okay. Well, this is weird, but yeah. Rey Fenix was disqualified when Luchasaurus ran in and attacked Butcher. I guess technically someone does get disqualified. But basically, there's outside interference. Luchasaurus comes in, attacks Butcher after his assault on him in his little hunt, and ends up technically making the Butcher win because there was outside interference, which obviously might heat up the Lucha Brothers against Luchasaurus as well. Overall, though, not bad. They're kind of underperforming there. We need to look at Bunny's gimmick, too. It seems like she's not suited to it. Butcher and Blade, dinosaur hunting, storyline advances. It's a fine overall. Afterwards, we have a big old brawl. All of Jurassic Express come out and gang up on Butcher and Blade, attacking everybody, kind of leaving them kind of knocked down. Luchasaurus looks good. Jungle Boy actually underperformed in this segment. But we have kind of a rubber where Luchasaurus kind of gets back at them and says that they're not going to basically take the beatings laying down and heating up their storyline in the process. That's okay. I was hoping for a little bit higher there, especially because Luchasaurus has a really good menace rating, so I thought it would be a little bit better. After that, we have a backstage segment. It's just a camera on the locked door of Tony Khan's office. We hear Nyla Rose arguing loudly with him, saying that she wants a handicap match. She wants to prove that she's the toughest. And Khan's like, we really shouldn't do that. It's really not how he's like, I don't care. I want it. And he reluctantly gives it to her. Afterwards, we have a interlude video hyping up a match tonight between Jon Moxley and Jimmy Havoc in a hardcore match. Does pretty well. Gets the crowd hyped up. We have the handicap match for Nyla Rose and Riho and B. Presley. Again, I'm just trying to build her up as much as I can. The ratings on this mod seem off for AEW for me, so if I can kind of get their popularity up, it will be beneficial. In a bout that had decent wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Nyla Rose defeats Riho and B. Presley in a handicap match in 4 minutes when Nyla Rose defeats B. Presley by submission. Does okay. Riho and B. Presley actually have great chemistry, which is good to know. And we continue the storyline of the unstoppable Nyla Rose. Again, I'm not liking where this rating is leading here. We really we need B minuses, and none of the talent can actually do that. This is a problem. Better, we have a match between the Dark Order versus SCU. Christopher Daniels kind of tagging with them, probably reluctantly because they still kind of casted him out, but still have the match. It's fine. Does pretty okay. Mostly it's Stu Grayson and Christopher Daniels leading the charge. We gain heat for the story, but Dark Order does defeat Scorpio Sky. There's some animosity in the match where it looks like Sky still doesn't believe Daniels is on their side. But afterwards, Uno and Grayson say it's time to reveal the Exalted One. It seems like it's going to be Christopher Daniels, but instead Matt Hardy arrives. He gets a above average gimmick for his rating, for his gimmick. Got the crowd hotter. Stu Grayson and performed really poorly there, unfortunately. So again, did not really do what we wanted here. We're still getting a pretty poor rating, even having a huge star debut. It's not good. This is better. Moxley comes out to the ring, cuts a promo. He's still wrapped up in bandages after his beatdown from the Inner Circle. And he's calling out Chris Jericho. He says, I think Jericho's afraid. All the shit they just put me through, all the gang-ups, distractions, beatdowns. I'm starting to think he's slowing down, and he knows it. He knows that belt is mine. It's just a matter of time. But it looks like he's got to send out a wall of putties in order to stop me. Well, that's fine, because I will just dismantle them one by one, he says, until it's just you and me, Chris. But first, I want your little bitch, and I know just the place to have them, blood and guts in a steel cage. So, we got continuing the story of Moxley versus Jericho, the numbers game being a problem for Moxley, and it seems like he wants to start to take them out of commission one by one, and he tried to do that last week, but they ganged up on him again, so he's going to have a match with Jake Hager in a steel cage, so there cannot be any distractions or interference, and he wants it at blood and guts. Click that. We have MJF's match that he wanted with Cody as a rematch, and he picked his partner, which was Shawn Spears. So it's Cody and Dustin, the Rhodes, versus Shawn Spears and MJF. MJF actually defeats Cody and Dustin in 17 minutes. MJF ends up defeating Dustin Rhodes by pinfall after using some underhanded tactics, and a major turn of Arn Anderson, who turns on Cody and seems to align with MJF and Shawn Spears. Dustin and Cody have great chemistry. Cody has 74, Dustin had 52, MJF had a 46, and Shawn Spears has a 44. And we advance our All Roads Lead Home storyline. Anyone improve? Cody, that's okay. Again, not a B, but it's what we got. Yes, we want to turn. Anderson, complete success, very easy. Afterwards, we have a segment that has Anderson, MJF, Shawn Spears, and Tully Blanchard standing over Cody, who got knocked out by Arn Anderson, kind of gloating and basically forming a new alliance together. So we have Shawn Spears and MJF together, kind of being coached by Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, respectively, kind of building a new faction of heels here for MJF. And they obviously stand united. It does okay. Performance of Cody was fantastic, of just being selling and looking awful. Tully Blanchard looked dreadful for some reason. I don't know why. We actually lost heat from this segment for that story. I don't know what happened here, but boy. And in our main event, we have Jon Moxley versus Jimmy Havoc in a hardcore match. Jon Moxley defeats Jimmy in 16 minutes by pinfall with a Death Rider. Does okay. Havoc has a 34. Moxley has a 73. Great performance of Jon Moxley stood out, got the crowd buzzing. Both of them were tiring by the end, but we got the crowd buzzing. And finally, we have Moxley standing tall during the hardcore match, being kind of beat down and sore. But ultimately, we have the Inner Circle coming in and ganging up on him. He fends off some of them, but ultimately gets overwhelmed. We actually lose heat for this, unfortunately. Santana is underwhelming. Mox came off well. Jericho was a star. Ortiz performed poorly on too. It's unfortunate. But overall, we have the entire crew of the Inner Circle still attacking Moxley, making it apparent that he needs to divide them one by one. And that's how we end the show. And unfortunately, that is low for us here. Did increase our popularity, but TNT is not going to be happy. And I'm kind of afraid to look at these emails. Riho needs some time to heal. TNT's unhappy. And we got some opinions that we're going to ignore for now. Again, this is our issue, is that we just don't have the mid-card talent pool that we would need. It's going to be rough, but that's what we got to work with, and it's going to be what we're going to have to do, is just build them up, and hopefully we build some momentum from them. We already saw some roster move-ups pretty quickly, so hopefully there will be some more. I'm hoping Darby Allin's not going to be a opener forever. Now he's a lower mid-carder. I'm just going to make him a mid-carder so he doesn't yell at me. We can start to build them up slowly, start to build some momentum for them, but it's going to be difficult, very, very difficult, because they just might not have the talent yet. Here, I'll move them up a bit lower. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough one. It's a lot harder of a save than I thought. Some of it just has to do with maybe people not being correctly ranked. And, if you guys are seeing on here, you think some of these skills are a little off, let me know. I would not hate tweaking some of them if needed. But definitely I feel like some of the mid-card are a little underrated, just in terms of skill or even overness. Some people are just not really where they should be, in terms of overness or skill set, where they really should be a little bit higher. It's going to be tough, though. Like, Luchasaurus is fine, and probably, though I feel like he probably should be a little bit higher already. But, his menace is good, but, really, you don't really have any... Your basics are only 59? I don't know about that. It seems a little low. But those are the problems that we have, and that's what we'll have to deal with. I'd prefer to try to deal with it the old-fashioned way by booking them. And we do have a contract with TNT for a while, so we just have to try to slowly raise them out of the gutter. But it will be difficult. But that was it for me. That was another Dynamite in the bag. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.